Boy Scout Troop 81 will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. You all may be seated, please. This time I'd ask if everyone present would please silence their cell phones. Thank you. And welcome to the July 2015 Blount County Board of Commissioners meeting. At this time, if you would give your attention to the emergency evacuation procedures.
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you have reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
Commission will come to order. Please register your presence by voting yes.
You have 20 present, 1 absent. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Commissioner Miller has a medical issue in her family and asks for your thoughts and prayers. At this time, the chair will stand for a motion to set the agenda. Commissioner Carter moves. Is there a second? Second. Commissioner Melton seconds. The motion is to set the agenda. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to set the agenda. Vote no not to set.
You have 20 yeses.
20 yes, 0 no. The agenda is set as published. The next item of business is agenda item B, the consent calendar. The chair will stand for a motion to approve the consent calendar. Commissioner Lewis moves. Commissioner Carver seconds. Discussion. The pending motion is to approve the consent calendar. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to approve the consent calendar. Vote no not to approve.
You have 20 yeses.
20 yes, 0 no. The consent calendar is approved. The next item of business is agenda item C, public input on items on the agenda. Does anyone wish to address the commission on items on the agenda? Seeing no hands, we'll move to the next item of business, which is item D1. The chair will stand for a motion to reappoint Kaler Brewer, Barong, and appoint Ron French to the Emergency Communication District Board.
So moved.
Commissioner Samples moves. And the second I hear is Carter. The motion is to reappoint Kaler, Brewer, Barong, and appoint Ron French to the Emergency Communication District Board. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to appoint and reappoint. Vote no not to appoint.
You have 17 yeses, 1 no, 2 abstain.
The motion is carried. The next item of business is agenda item D2. This time I need to read for the body. This is to inform you that if I'm appointed to the Ocoee Regional Board tonight, I will not serve. Respectfully, Denise Robertson. At this time, the chair will stand for a motion to appoint Bill Beatty to the Ocoee River Regional Library Board of Trustees. Commissioner Melton moves. Commissioner Carver seconds. The motion is to appoint Bill Beatty to the Ocoee River Regional Library Board of Trustees. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to appoint. Vote no not to appoint.
You have 19 yeses, 1 no.
19 yes, 1 no. The motion carries. There's no business under item E on the agenda, so the first item of business is item F1A. The chair will stand for a motion on item F1A, Resolution 1507002, to amend the general fund budget by $77,041.06. Commissioner French moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Allen seconds. The motion is to adopt Resolution 1507002. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt.
You have 20 yeses.
20 yes, 0 no. The resolution is adopted. The next item of business is F1B. The chair will stand for a motion on item F1B, Resolution 1507006, to amend the general fund budget by $47,920.
So moved.
Commissioner Samples moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Hedrick seconds. The motion is to adopt Resolution 1507006. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a couple of questions. I don't know if the finance director would be the one to ask.
Let's state the question. We'll find someone.
Okay. Why is almost half of this amount for maintenance agreements? The last time that we had a maintenance and data service agreement from this department with this fund, it was almost 6 times the equipment cost. How many maintenance agreements does a circuit court clerk have? Is this software support, a one-time setup, annual cost, what?
Is circuit court clerk present? Don't see the clerk. Is Mr. Vineyard, would you like to offer any information on this? If so, I'll recognize you.
Don't know that I know the specifics of this request. Typically, when you're looking at maintenance, you're also considering licensing agreements, so it may be there's a licensing agreement for each of the terminals that it's in use in that department.
Commissioner Monroe?
Were you provided with any information about this purchase or what this money would be spent on?
Commissioner, I believe this is for some kiosk-type components to where the public can come in and use a credit card or some other way to pay, and that's what I understand. It's for a kiosk device, similar
Okay,
to
that-
check bags.
That would be the equipment cost, but I'm talking about the maintenance cost. The last time the data and maintenance was almost 6 times the equipment.
I can only refer you to the county court clerk, the circuit court clerk on that. Mr. Vineyard, I'll recognize if you have any more to add. You're recognized, Mr. Vineyard.
Well, comparing maintenance or software agreements for this use is totally different from the last request that came to you, which was to do the major installation for all of his terminals for his new system for the operation of the department.
Okay,
All maintenance agreements are not the same.
Thank you, Mr. Vineyard.
so we don't,
Commissioner Monroe.
okay, so we don't know if this is a one-time cost or if this is an annual cost or what this money is. I mean, that's a lot of money for maintenance agreement. It doesn't, it doesn't give us a lot
I
of
made a call to
information.
the circuit court clerk, and he explained it to me. Did you call during the week to try to get an answer?
No, and I don't have to. He could come and explain this to us. Now, I could call him, but I had some other things I had to tend to, so I am asking these questions. Budget committee didn't ask them, and they should have. All right, thank you.
Are the members ready for the question? The pending motion is to adopt Resolution 1507006. Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt.
You have 18 yeses and 2 noes.
18 yes, 2 noes. The resolution is adopted. Next item of business is F1C. The chair will stand for motion on F1C. Resolution 1507007 to amend other capital projects fund budget by $9,000. Commissioner Kaler moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Carter, in his soft voice, seconds. The motion is to adopt Resolution 1507007. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The appropriation says communication equipment, but the documentation says it's for a camera security system. Is this just an accounting classification required by the state, or will there be communication with this equipment?
Mr. Logan. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is security camera. There's not going to be any communication or voice communication like that. That was the account that I best thought it would fit under. If there's a different account code that's for security equipment, I may have missed that. If there is, we could reassign that.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Thanks, Troy. Are the members ready for the question? The motion is to adopt Resolution 1507007. Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt. Commissioner Melton. It didn't lock in.
You have 20 yeses.
20 yes, 0 no. The resolution's adopted. Next item of business is F1D. Chair will stand for a motion on F1D, Resolution 1507008, to amend the general purpose school fund budget by $312,000. Commissioner French moves. Commissioner Bowers seconds. The motion is to adopt Resolution 1507008. Commissioner Carver, you're recognized.
Yes, I'd like to ask Mr. Logan an update on the litigation that's involved with this.
Mr. Logan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Carver, we, legal counsel for the consortium, we received email yesterday morning that they had submitted a 60-page response to the decision of the USAC that works under FCC, appealing their decision. I did not get an attachment, a copy of that 60-page letter, but we were also asked to submit a certification as a member of that consortium, along with all the other members, along with that to the USAC, and we did do that. So I don't have any response to that from them yet.
Mr. Carver?
Still, if it's reversed and that money that will be received, it'll be put back into the fund it's taken from.
Mr. Logan, you're recognized.
Thank you. If we are successful and the decision's reversed and they award E-rate reimbursement or discount funding, again, we would put that money back into that account or credit the appropriation account or deposit to a credit to a revenue account. I'll defer to the accounting office to tell me which way to do that.
And then
Mr. Carver, you're recognized.
last question, will this be put to our maintenance of effort if this money is used this year?
Mr. Logan?
It will not affect the Commission's maintenance of effort on local revenues. It will not affect that.
Mr. Carver?
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Daly, you're recognized. Thank you, Mr. Logan.
Thank you.
Oh, I have some questions for Mr. Logan, too.
Ask the question to the chair, and we'll recognize the person to speak. Go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. I was looking over all these 19, I think 17 or 19 pages, and I'm a little confused. Most of this money is coming from leftover funds or diverted funds from the school budget. Is that correct?
Mr. Logan, if you'll come forward, please be recognized. Mr. Logan.
I'm not 100% certain I understand the question, but absent the $312,000 increase, the budget amendment is a transfer of funds that from line to line that matches what the total appropriations budget was approved by the commission. So we're taking what was approved by the commission and the Board of Ed and getting the monies in the right line items after everything was approved.
Commissioner Daly, you're recognized.
So after, let's say this licensing for the internet, how much is the licensing for the internet affect this 312?
Mr. Logan, you're recognized.
The increase in that line item specifically for the internet service is an increase of $508,300 total. What we did was we made some cuts in some other places throughout the budget, and then we got it down to $312,000, and we're asking to appropriate or let us use fund balance to cover the balance of that.
Commissioner Daly.
Okay, so the 312 comes from the general fund?
The school's fund balance.
So it comes from the school's general fund?
Mr. Logan.
Yes.
Commissioner Daly.
Okay, so none of this money is coming from the general fund of the county?
Mr. Logan.
None of the $312,000 increase is coming from the county. But the county commission has, through the funding appropriation, provides
For the
sales taxes, property taxes. That's part of the revenue base of the total budget, yes.
Ms. Daly, anything else?
No. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lowe.
Thank you.
Pending motion is to adopt Resolution 1507008. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt.
If 18 yeses and 2 noes.
18 yes, 2 no. The resolution's adopted. The next item of business is F1E. The chair will stand for motion on F1E, Resolution 1507009, to amend the general fund budget by $93,600. Commissioner Bowers moves. Second by Commissioner Kaler. Is that correct? The motion is to adopt Resolution 1507009. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt.
You have 20 yeses.
20 yes, 0 no. The resolution's adopted. The next item of business is F2. The chair will stand for motion on item F2, Resolution 1507004, to approve amendments to the subdivision regulations relating to rules, regulations, and specification for private easements. Commissioner French moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Carver seconds. Motion is to adopt 1507004. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt the resolution.
You have 15 yeses, 5 noes.
15 yes, 5 noes. The resolution is adopted. The next item of business is F3. The chair will stand for motion on item F3. The minutes of the June 18, 2015 Blount County Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Commissioner Samples moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Farmer seconds. The motion is to approve the minutes of the June 18, 2015 Blount County Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Commissioner Akert, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to amend the minutes, pages 5 and 6, to include Commissioner Akert objected to the consideration of the question after having no opportunity to discuss. Chairman Moon declared the objection to be out of order according to the rules of order.
Is there a second? The amendment, state the amendment.
Commissioner
Write this
Akert,
down.
on pages 5 and 6, before the reading of the conflict of interest statements, Commissioner Akert objected to the consideration of the question after having no opportunity to discuss, and Chairman Moon declared the objection to be out of order according to rules of order.
Would the Chairman Pro Tem please come to the chair?
Now, where are we? All right. Let's see, my lights. Okay. All right. Yeah, I saw my own name up there. Go ahead, Chairman Moon.
Commissioners, there's only one time that objection to the consideration can be brought, and that is before the main motion is put before the body for consideration or for debate. At all other times, that motion is out of order. And all I ask is to consider this amendment and vote your conscience. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Akerd. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. The board is clear. Anyone else wish to speak to the amendment only? Board is clear. No means, a vote no means that the amendments, we will go back to the original motion, which is to approve the amendments as they are printed, as you have them. A vote yes means that the amendment will be added on page 5. Is that correct, Commissioner Akers?
It's 5 and 6.
Page 5 and 6. So does everyone understand? Let's see, Commissioner Cole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was wondering if we could ask a little bit more clarification on if this is in the minutes, is there some impact to that?
I don't know that I'm the one that can answer that. I know that in the past, if you allow me to give you this point of information, in the past we have always included, the only thing that's been in addition has been the conflict of interest statements. The only other thing that's ever been included in the minutes are is the action of the commission. Is that correct, Mr. Clerk? And the vote, of course.
Well,
let me get your mic on. Go ahead, Mr. Clerk.
Rule 14B of the Rules of Procedure of the Commission say that the minutes shall only reflect the official actions of the body. Rule 5D states that statements for the minutes, a request to add written or oral statements to official commission minutes shall require a majority vote by the members. So if that's the way I tried to write the minutes. If the commission feels that those were incorrect, then obviously you can make a motion to change that. As far as the conflict of interest statements go, my interpretation was that the commissioners vote, the statement is required by state law and therefore is a part of the commissioner's vote and therefore it's included. If the commission feels that that's an incorrect interpretation, then certainly they need to make a motion to amend the minutes. The minutes are not official until they are approved by the body. So.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Commissioner Akerd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Everyone that's on this commission was present when this took place. Whether you agree with what I was trying to do or what I wasn't trying to do, I'm asking for the minutes to reflect that I did make the effort. And all of you, especially those that read a conflict of interest statement, have stated that you were representing your constituency above your own personal views. And I can't see how there could be a problem in letting the minutes reflect an attempt to discuss it. So please do let your conscience be your guide in your vote for this, and let the minutes show that we attempted to have a discussion. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Moon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If the member was so concerned, why did he not appeal the rule of the chair, and then it would have been placed to a vote, and then would have been an official action of the body and would have gone into the minutes? Two wrongs don't make a right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could you read that again?
Mr. You talking about the amendment?
Yes.
Do you have the amendment, or do you want Mr.
Rhonda,
Akers?
you have the minutes.
Not the amendment, just what he just read
Oh,
about.
what I just read?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yes, sir.
You want it about the minutes, about the
Right.
action?
Correct.
Okay, Rule 14B says that the minutes shall only reflect the official actions of the body. Rule 5D states that if there's a request to add written or oral statements to the official commission minutes, shall require a majority vote by the members.
Thank you. So my question would be, what Commissioner Akers is asking for, is that an official act?
I wouldn't think it would be. He's asking a question. Are you asking the chair?
Yes.
That was something that he tried to do that did not make, it didn't actually even make the floor, if I remember correctly. So, no, it's not an action. Commissioner Allen?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pretty clear that 14B states only official acts are to be recorded in the minutes. I don't know about you all, but I do not believe in accommodating certain people's agenda to make the paper by being out of order and showboating and then insisting upon it being recorded.
Mr. Chairman, the speaker's out of order.
I think he's through. All right. Commissioner Monroe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It does say that only the official action shall be recorded, but then it also says that we can add statements to the minutes. Right, and so that's what Commissioner Akers is asking, and what I seconded is to add something. The rules permit it. If this body says so, the rules permit it. Thank you.
Commissioner Kaler.
Call for the previous question.
Second.
We have a motion for the previous question and seconded. If you are in favor of the previous question, Commissioner Farmer, we're going to take a voice vote. If you're in favor of the previous question, please.
I know when you have 2/3, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Can you vote, set it up to vote? All right. Vote yes if you are in favor of ending debate and moving to the question. Vote no if you are opposed. Please vote.
You have 13 yes, 7 no's.
It requires 2/3 vote, does it not?
Motion fails.
Motion fails, yes. All right, we're still in debate, but the board is clear. So if you are in favor of the amendment. What?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to change my vote.
Oh, okay. I've already announced the vote.
That's all right, take unanimous consent. You can ask me.
Is there unanimous consent to allow Commissioner Bowers to change his vote?
Yes.
Anyone object? Anyone object? Would you change Commissioner Bowers' vote to 14 or to, you voted what? You want to vote yes? Well, that ends debate anyway. I think we were getting ready to end debate anyway, Commissioner, but we'll change your vote. Now, if you are in favor of the amendment, and that would mean changing the minutes, vote yes. If you are opposed to the amendment, vote no. Please vote.
You have 5 yeses and 15 no's.
The amendment fails. We are back on the original motion, which is to approve the minutes from the June 18th meeting. The board is clear. If you are in favor of approving the minutes, please vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. Please vote.
You have 16 yes, 4 no's.
The minutes from the June 18th meeting are approved. Mr. Chairman, would you retake the chair?
Next order of business is statements and announcements. Mayor Mitchell, you're recognized, sir. Getting your exercise.
You suggesting something there? Thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank all agencies that responded to the CSX train derailment and hazmat incident that occurred last week. I have no doubt that the incident could have escalated into a worse situation had it not been for the cooperative effort that every responding agency showed. Each of the public safety responders demonstrated the utmost professionalism and ability and worked tirelessly throughout the incident to mitigate any and all hazards to our citizens and our community. I want to thank the Blount County Sheriff's Department, the Maryville Police Department, and the Alcoa Police Department for their rapid evacuation response. I want to thank the Blount County Fire, Maryville Fire, and Alcoa Fire for their rapid containment. The Red Cross, TEMA, TDEC, EPA, and all played valuable roles in this incident response, and we owe them all a great deal of appreciation for all their support and all that they did. I'd also like to thank the Animal Center and the fantastic job that Charlie and his staff did out there on the replacement of the animals that were evacuated. In closing, I want to thank Rob Britt and the Blount County Schools for their role in this sheltering of the people that were vacated during this incident. The school department, without a doubt, and their staff went above and beyond in working with us and CSX to get the job done. Last, I want to thank CSX for their immediate response with unlimited resources. They have and continue to have excellent working conditions for us and for the responders, and are doing everything necessary to mitigate this unfortunate situation. Had all these agencies not worked together with the cooperation that was shown throughout the derailment incident, the results could have been dramatically different. It is truly a blessing to live in a community where we all work so well together to ensure the safety of our citizens. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Akers, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to mirror precisely what the mayor just said, since a huge portion of my district was affected directly by the evacuations. Everything was handled absolutely wonderfully from every report I've heard, and I'm most appreciative for everything that every agency did to help ensure our safety. Thank you.
Commissioner Carver, you're recognized.
Again, in regards to the train derailment, last week it was referred that possibly signing the release of signing that check for the $500 might have been a release of liability. I followed up on that and found that not to be true, and so I'd like to make that a public known that that's not a true statement. That was made by last week. But I am very appreciative of the response of our first responders.
Commissioner Melton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I agree with the emergency management and all that's happened in the county. They did a great job. There's something on my mind that's bothered me all afternoon since I went to the TV, seen all that in Chattanooga. It's really bothered me. I'd just like to ask that for everyone's prayers tonight for these 4 Marines that were killed, and I think there was an officer too. It hurts, I guess because I'm an old jarhead myself, but these young men were serving their country, and here this terrorist came out and killed them. And so please say your prayers for these young men and all of our servicemen. And there's one thing that really bothers me, that back 18 or 20 years ago, they took the weapons away from our military, that they couldn't carry them. Now, I was in there, and there was always a weapon within arm's reach with me. A M1 was in my locker all the time. Of course, that's an old weapon. That's telling how old I am. But I just wish that they would change that law. And anyone that has a uniform on, in my opinion, and the training they go through, how to use weapons and everything, if you haven't been there, I have. They are very capable of carrying weapons. And it's not only the servicemen, but these gentlemen standing here too, and everything. You see them, they have weapons on them. Why can a serviceman not have a weapon, a 45 or something on their hip, or a weapon within arm's length? I was watching again, and I saw this young gentleman standing outside one of those places that was all shot up. He had a uniform on, standing in harm's way with no weapon whatsoever. So that's my thing. If nothing else, call your representatives and senators and everything. Let's change that law, boys. They need to have a weapon. Thank you.
And I'm sure the commissioner meant men and ladies. Commissioner Lewis, you're recognized.
I'd also like to congratulate all those that were involved, and I read in the paper today. I'd also like to congratulate Dr. Brett for his nomination for the 2016 Tennessee Superintendent of the Year Award. Congratulations.
Seeing no other lights, we'll move to agenda item H, public input on items not on the agenda. If you'll come forward, sir, identify yourself and where you reside.
He's been trying to kill me this thing for...
Crockett, you may be having to take somebody out of here. You're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, Jim Hinkle, District 10. I didn't know the mayor was going to make that announcement tonight, but I would just like to say thank you, Mayor, because you played a big role in this derailment and so forth. And it kind of goes back. I don't want to get the reputation that some speakers have speaking here every night, and I promise I won't be doing that in the near future. But if you recall, on many occasions over the last couple of months, I've emphasized the fact that our county employees are the backbone of this county. And that also goes for our department heads and elected officials. And I don't think it can be proven any better than this recent train derailment. I am somewhat confused about one thing, though, that happened at the agenda meeting, and I know I'm not supposed to call the commissioners by name, so I'll say our commissioner from District 2, our commissioner of District 2, Seat A, made the statement about, I guess, cautioning people about taking the $500, that they might be giving away their rights. And I heard our commissioner from District 5, Seat B, state that he went through all this. Well, I found out later that our commissioner from District 2, Seat A over here, from what I've been told, had already received a check. I'm somewhat confused about what he was trying to warn other people about. Now, I understand it was over $500 that he received. Thank you.
Dick Scott, District 10. After last month's meeting, which went as late as any of I have attended over the years I've been attending these meetings, I had a thought on the way home, and I'd like to say to 20 of the commissioners, and 21 were here, but to 20 of you who conducted yourselves very professionally, regardless of how you voted, okay, and your responsibilities. I appreciate that. That's just a personal opinion, speaking only for myself. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no hands, this completes tonight's agenda. We are adjourned.